welcome again to Jester Chat, where we're talking all things rugby union in Harlequins, Port Moresby, and it's made possible. And thank you to our partners in the Wave podcast platform, where all things podcast. These are your team. Hit up Wave for anything you wish to do within that space. Today, I've got the pleasure of talking to one of our Premier grade players now in 2025, Manu Tokanai. How are you, Manu?
I'm good, thank you.
So Manu, obviously you've had a pretty interesting 24 months off the field, on the field. Just share a little bit of with us, what you've been here and doing, and then how you came about joining the club to start starring on the rugby field.
So I first came to Port Moresby in 2021, which is my first time in Port Moresby. And the reason I came to Port Moresby is because of school. So I came as a freshman at Don Bosco Technological Institute to do my study. So from there, one Saturday, I went to the field to watch the game. I saw the boys playing, so that really motivates me, because to see the Harlequins player played, they were really young and energetic players, so they have the passion for rugby and what they're doing. So at that time, it really motivates me to be part of the team. So I went back to the dorm, where I was staying at the time. So from 2021, 2022, and then 2023, I decided to join the Harlequins. That was my first time training with the boys. It was really difficult because it's a new environment and it's really tough for me. So what I do is I put on hard work and time commitment to the training, and whenever what the coaches want us to do, I always give my extra to make sure that I meet the level where the boys are playing in.
So Manu, where are you from again?
I'm from New Island province, originally in Tangai Island.
And I can tell you, and you've probably already been told about this, but there's a big history of Harlequins and NGI players that have come through the club. So you're not new, but as Manu has highlighted, I think one of the biggest challenges Manu had was trying to make time to play rugby because the school was quite stringent on you. That's correct?
Yeah, being a boarder at Don Bosco is really difficult for me, and I have to be on time and be at the school on time. So I really squeeze up my time and my training, and hopefully the schoolwork, I have to squeeze them up and did a timetable, commitment and everything to be part of school and rugby at the same time.
And I'll share that with you, because as a coach, when we tried to select you, sometimes, you couldn't find the time to come to training because of your busy school schedule. But also out to, the supporters out there, Manu also had to try and get back in time for his meal. And from one of the stories I heard was he, sometimes had to skip his meals, or he missed out on his meals because he was back late because we were training late. So a bit of a commitment from you, Manu. So well done. You just joined the club in 2023. That's only 2 years now. Well, this is a second year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how are you finding the club so far? How are you finding, where you've started from to where you are now?
From where I started, I've seen a lot of improvement in my game skills and decision making. Hopefully, with my strength and weakness for the game, I've seen a lot of improvement in my current gaming now. As a flanker, playing, it's very difficult and challenging. So I have to learn from the most big boys, and they've helped me to meet certain level where I could play for the club.
I think one of the strong values you have, Manu, is your commitment to your teammates and your team. You've made a big improvement since joining the club, and I know that 2024 was your big year, your breakout year. Just quietly, what did you graduate in?
I graduated in maintenance, fitting, and machining.
Yeah.
And it's all to do with machinery and maintenance, fitting, and machining, which is, I could say, 3 courses put together to form that course. So it was a very big challenge for me because year 2024 was my final year. I did my final year, and playing and doing schoolwork, I have to work extra harder, which is on the field and in school at the same time. So that's...
Yeah, well, just sharing that with you. Obviously, rugby doesn't pay you the bills, and you found time to play rugby at the same time school. And I know you've had some personal challenges, so well done on that. And you're fully graduated. You now have to obviously find a job, as all you guys that have graduated come through. All the best in that, in your next, I suppose, journey. But with the club, you were fortunate enough to join us on the tour. You, from all records, Manu was a standout player. I think the most improved. Stood up in all our matches in our tour. How was that for you, Manu? And I think one of the things you probably should try and share is, when you were on the tour, did you change anything that you played locally here when you played here compared to when you went overseas?
During the tour, I kind of put more effort into the game than in the club. That's what I see, because the tour, it's not actually just like the club, but we are representing the country as well. So for me, it's a huge role to play when we go out of the country, and it's the biggest thing that the club and anyone has ever did for me for this kind of tour. So all I did was give back to the club, and I really did my best, and hope it's the best thing I did for the club.
Yeah, well, I can tell you now, you did really good for the club. You made us stand out in a lot of situations that were successful for us. You were in the forefront, so congratulations. You had a good tour. You're the standout player of the tour in my books, and we're quite proud of your efforts. Leading up to the tour, you had a season with the club. How did that end for you? Where did you finish in 2024?
2024, we finished at the A grade. I played with the A grade, so we finished with a win. We
2024 premiers in A grade. Yeah, congratulations.
So finished with a win against the brothers. It was a huge success for me because it actually my second time playing for the grand final, and we actually win. So
in 2023 you were on the receiving end, huh?
Yeah. So it was a huge achievement in my rugby career.
Well, yeah, you stepped up in a small period of time, because from that form, from your A grade performance on grand final day, we then pushed you into the touring squad, and for a small body as a forward, we had our doubts, but you really came up against a good opposition there. So probably share a little bit about that. Who were your opposition? How did you find them? And share to our viewers, like what was the tour like for you?
From my experience, the players were really big compared to my size and build. So when one player tackled me, it's like two players tackling me, so my friends could not see me. So the really challenging and good experience where we played against the Fijian. So it was a good experience for me to play against the experienced players and to get the feeling of how they play and how aggressive and how they put their heart into the game and play the rugby. So it was a good experience to play with other players apart from my local teams that we played.
Yeah, well, I think the experience that you're expressing is rubbing shoulders against international players. Like we don't regularly have that. And, we've spoken about it a lot where our rugby must be more than playing at Bava. And that's something we share that a lot at club. I see that, you're one of the players that actually enjoyed the tour a lot more because of your form. But, I think a lot of people don't really see the mental challenges that you players have when you obviously play at Bava and then you move outside of your comfort zone and go on a tour like Asia, traveling 3 countries and then actually trying to perform because the distractions can be high. Yeah. What was one of the things you focused on to try and ensure that your performance on the field was really good?
One thing that helped me focus during the tour is giving back to the club, and the second is making my family proud.
Yeah.
So my family, they have supported me, for the game and making sure that I give back to them and to the club, the coaches, because they have put a lot of work in preparing us for this tour. So that's one of the things that motivates me for this tour and playing.
I appreciate that because at the end of the day, you're not paid players. And I think that's a message that we try to get out to a lot of our players. That, you've had to commit through school and whatever to get through your education away from family back in New Ireland. And then you come across and play rugby for Harlequins, and then we're demanding you to make time and commitment, and obviously it doesn't pay you, so you have to have that commitment level challenges. And you're probably one of the players that we can share a lot in that space because you've living in a school, and then we're also telling you at club that if you don't turn up to training, we can't select you, we can't put you into the team because you're not committing, but we don't know really what happens in the background. So thank you for sharing that. I think one of the things I'd like you to probably share with us is, where do you see yourself moving forward now that you've graduated, you've got a grade premiership under your belt, but obviously you want to achieve a little bit more and hopefully get into the premier squad. But for the tour and then your career, like just highlight a few of those things where you want to see yourself or what you're really looking forward to try and achieving.
For me now, it's I've completed my degree in maintenance, fitting, and machining. Now it's one achievement I've achieved in my life for a long time. I've been waiting for this, so I've put it aside now. Now the big challenge now is to look for a job and get into the industry now to work and give back to the people that have worked hard for me for the past years. And for the game, I'm putting more time to build up myself in roles and the game to be a better player. So if any opportunity comes in the future, I'm willing to take it because it's been my passion and to play rugby and yeah.
Yeah, so Manu, in the last 2 years, last couple of years, we've obviously taken our game, the club's game seriously a little bit more and introduced SNC. Now you've obviously toured and you've seen the size of this opposition that we played against internationally, and where you are. You mentioned that you obviously felt the pain of the contact, playing against heavier and bigger, more experienced players. What is your goal now that we've got this program in the SNC area to try and get yourself ready for the future? And where do you see yourself heading in that area as a flanker?
My aim goal now is to build myself to become bigger, to actually put more time and into the gym program that the club has provided us, which is a great opportunity, and big thanks to the club for giving us that opportunity to build ourselves. So it's kind of like a huge challenge and
something you want to achieve so that you can play in your position you play. I mean, the biggest challenge for you obviously is going to be having the right diet as well, because we are seeing a lot of our players that are smaller in size because the diet has changed somewhat. So I think, you've got the challenge of obviously now you have to go out and try and find a pathway for your career in creating hopefully an opportunity to find that job, and then supporting yourself and your family, which is a big commitment, and I admire that in you. Thank you for sharing that, Manu. And then on your personal goals with rugby, obviously it's not a paid job, but we would like to see you really push hard, and in the future, for me personally, go on another tour again and really be a different player to what you were obviously the last tour, bigger in size, and trying to test yourself on that international stage, because at the end of the day, we've got to challenge ourselves higher than where we are. So really thank you for your efforts so far, and your commitment. You obviously a very committed player, and I appreciate all your sacrifices you put forward, and hopefully we can be a successful off the field as we are on the field in a lot of senses.
Yeah, I would just like to thank the coaches for the time they've given us and the hard work they've put into the team and each and every one of the boys, making sure that the boys are well and make sure no injuries, and getting the boys to the right fitness, giving the boys right fitness and the game structure. Making just a huge thanks to the coaches for that and supporting us in our rugby career.
Well, thank you, Manu. Appreciate your time. Really good to hear your story and where you come from and where you are. Wish you all the best in your endeavors to get that degree into full use now, or what you've graduated into full use, and hopefully rugby also follows the same success. And I'd like to say thank you to our viewers. That ends this episode, and to thank you to the Wave podcast platform for providing us this opportunity to share these stories of our boys sharing the experiences, and I hope you guys can also find inspiration in that. So until next time, we'll see you again.